Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to today's video. Today we talk about why Asian men are depressed. Yeah, I feel like I'm not saying anything that's super crazy. This is an intuitive feeling that I've had for quite some time, and it was cool to go on a research plunge and find a plethora of data that actually supports these facts. So let's start having a discussion. So in 2019, the CDC did a study from Asian American males from grade 9 to 12 and realized that 30% were more likely to commit suicide when compared to other ethnic groups of Hispanics and whites. This is terrifying. Okay, the fact that you're in early adolescence and you're struggling with your mental health to the point where you want to off yourself, there's an element that's culturally ingrained. When you're Asian, there's a lack of resources, an idea of seeking out help and admitting that you're struggling. Asian culture and Asian parents specifically have a hard time realizing that, yeah, being traditionally successful comes with a burden of responsibility that destroys your mental health. The idea that you could be depressed from becoming too accomplished. Asian men have this urge to prove their worth continually. We need external achievements to prove our worth. The fact that we don't have inherent value unless we go and prove this to others. From a very young age, I realized that straight A's or grades on a report card leaves you feeling empty sometimes. Look, it's cool that you worked hard towards a goal. Okay, got a good grade, but so temporary. Never filled me with joy and love that I got from relationships. And there's nothing wrong with going for good grades. Yes, it will make your life easier. But also, you can't neglect friendships and relationships because these are the things that enrich your life, that give you feel and color. So never neglect your social aspect just to get good grades. I think what happens is if you are a person with a lot of friends and people generally like to be around you and you have good grades, that's the best of both worlds, and you get very far. You'll get very far in life because the fact that someone likes you and you're competent, it's a good mix. I remember I had the realization, I was like, this sucks because you can't necessarily see the benefits of just hanging out with your friends and building strong connections with your fellow peers and men. And it's really sad because if you look at the studies to begin with, most men don't have friends in general. So in 2021, the Survey Center American Life found that since 1995, the amount of men that don't have close friends increased from 3% to 15%. In the same research, what's even scarier is the number of men that said they don't have at least 6 close friends halved from 55% to 23%. So the data is showing that most men are lonely. Most people don't have friends. And without friends, you face loneliness. And if you are lonely, you don't have peers and friends to talk about the idea that you're depressed and struggling. Okay? And we all know that loneliness actually kills you. In a BYU study, it shows that social isolation can increase premature death by 32%. Okay, so enough of the statistics. It's terrifying and it's depressing. So next point of this is, what is there to actually do to prevent this pitfall? Number one, realize that things probably won't get better with time. The burden of responsibility placed upon you and your responsibilities of life and others will tremendously grow. So if you don't seek help now, it will snowball. And I feel like the idea of Asian men being stoic and humble and not showing emotion because it makes you weak. I know, especially for me, my mom always ingrained in me that you're a man, you don't show emotion. You get on with it. If you neglect this, you start putting it inside your body, start putting it in your subconscious and your psyche. Eventually, this will eat you up. This rage will have nowhere to go. You learn to just hate yourself. And now you're completely out of touch with your body. You're completely out of touch with your body and emotions. It makes socializing extremely difficult. Okay, so realize that you should probably start seeing a therapist. Okay, not a bad thing. Also, start to learn how to make friendships. Friends and peers, your spouse, your girlfriend, gives you a beautiful flavor of life that traditional achievements cannot provide. How do you make friends? And here's the thing. This video is not for the people who are Asian, who have a lot of friends and are popular, okay? This is not for you. It's for the people that are struggling with it. So my point is, yeah, are Asian men typically quiet, not fun to be around, stuff like that, based on the stereotype? Yeah. Of course, there's anomalies and outliers, but majority of men, Asian men, typically struggle in the realm of socialization. Okay, so this video is for you guys. Friendship starts with curiosity, empathy, and putting yourself in the other person's point of view. Another point I want to emphasize is checking understanding is a seduction to communication. What does this mean? So I started with curiosity. You have to be curious about the other person. You have to ask questions to understand what they want to do. What are they presenting? Okay, as well as putting yourself in their shoe to see their point of view. It helps people feel understood. And checking understanding would typically look like summarizing their point in your own words, okay? To show that you're listening and have fully processed what they're saying. And now you're sharing that. And this is seduction. It's beautiful. It shows that you're paying attention, listening, and you're an active participant. Versus being a robot, saying and mimicking and copying and be like, hey, what you told me, XYZ. No, you're putting on your own words. That's the basics. That's the foundation of it. And we could do a skills workshop and go further. So email me and we'll book a consultation, okay? Your mental health is extremely important. So the stigma against us makes everything a lot more difficult. So if you're actually depressed and sad and struggling, you don't have the life you want, that's okay for now. But there's a lot of work to be done in the future. You're going to have to get used to the idea of disapproval. Okay, and realize that not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is supposed to like you. And stop being afraid of the idea of failing. You're not failing just because someone doesn't like you. I bet that you don't like a lot of people, and that's fine. You have to become okay with rejection, and that allows you to calibrate yourself with other people. It's an important skill in life. You have to realize that when you go out and start interacting with your peers, you probably have a social circle that you can start practicing on, okay? It's going to be awkward. You're going to suck at it. You're going to kind of be creepy, okay? You're not going to be properly socialized and understand social cues. But the more you do it, the more you hang out, you realize that people are amazing. Everything magical that's ever happened in my life is because I've met people and allowed them to share their experience with me. It's really changed my life. I feel like when I was younger, I definitely adopted this like lone wolf mentality. Emotions and friendships are bullshit because the Asian culture taught me that this is useless. I'd say I was absolutely wrong. It made my life extremely depressing and had nothing to look forward to. You know, you'd go to school and you come home, you play video games online, and then you'd see your friends or peers at school hanging out and partying. Like, you want to be a part of that. As much as you say it's stupid, like, it's a beautiful part of being a degenerate that's cool. It allows you to just show your mask, expose yourself. Like when you're really with your peers, when you're by yourself, realize that people want to see who you are at the end of the day. And you have value by being their friend in their presence. And that's awesome. Realize that people enjoy being around you. You have to give yourself a shot, though. You're going to stutter, You're just always in your head. You're robotic. Stop second-guessing yourself. Yeah. I think the idea of seeing someone true to their heart when they're intoxicated is real. Not saying you should go get intoxicated, but it's like if you remove that negative internal voice, who would you be in your life? I realized that from a young age was a lot of this shame, guilt, denial came from me. It wasn't because I did something to another person. It's because I brought it upon myself. I've taught myself to fear authority and be shameful, right? The idea of like, go and ask a girl out. That guilt and embarrassment is not caused by her. It's caused by you. It's caused by you. It's because you value their opinion. You're saying, well, oh man, I'm awkward, I'm dumb, I'm not attractive. We've all been there. We've all been there. We all struggle with it. We all have a lot of insecurities that we need to work through. I do as well. But you keep on going. And when you find cool friends that support you, you stop caring the opinions of others because you only care about what your really close friends actually think about you. And that's a good thing. You should care what your really close friends think about you because they're looking out for you based on the idea that they're good human beings that are competent and they're high quality people, right? Find people's opinion to care about you, that you value. They'll allow you to keep going forward. Stop going online. I know I've emphasized this point 24/7, but guys, you have to get off these online platforms. You got to stop relying on Reddit and stuff. Just stop. Tune into the world. Interact with your immediate environment. That is cool. Interact with people. Stop being an NPC. Stop being quiet and shy. Okay, I'm not saying you have to be loud, stupid, drunk, but it's like you can raise your voice and ask a question. Okay? You can start showing yourself. The idea of Asian Americans breaking the mold of being a model minority is real. Asians are breaking. You start seeing them in headlines more. Deaths. It's sad. The model minority that Asians are perfect, nothing bad ever happens to us, and we're highly successful, is deteriorating. I think we all know that. Becoming highly competent and very successful comes at a price if you neglect every other area of your life. And I would urge you, achievements are absolutely worth pursuing, but not at the expense of your social life. Go and find love. Go fall in love, get your heart broken. Go make mistakes. Obviously, don't get arrested or do anything stupid. Wrap it up, of course. Go experience life. Work and achievements will always be there. But you will get older and people will pass. Don't miss out. I wish you guys the absolute best. Please check out my Instagram and email me if you have any other questions. Check out my website for more information. As always, wish you the best. Peace out. Namaste.